All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Me here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. So, Oliver Anthony is still one of the biggest stories on planet Earth. Rich men north of Richmond, which takes on politicians, taxes, welfare, and other issues like human trafficking, maybe, from a struggling working man's perspective, exploded after it was posted back on August 7th, and it's since garnered more than 24 million views on Radio WV's YouTube page. By August 11th, the song had reached number one on the iTunes country chart. Guess what song it bumped out? Try That in a Small Town by Jason Aldean. So is the message, hey, maybe I should record an edgy, controversial song and have the ladies from The View yell at me and call me all kinds of names? Maybe that's what I should do. I wonder what they're going to say about Oliver Anthony. I'm sure they're going to have to comment on it because this song is just bigger in a way that just defies anybody's criticism, in my opinion, my humble opinion. The song is a contender to debut at number one on Billboard's Hot 100, which arrives Monday, August 21st. That's crazy. So the thing about the Billboard Hot 100 is I don't think it's based on radio airplay anymore. I mean, it is partly based on that, but it's also based on sales and other factors, streams, downloads, all of that. So this is a pretty interesting situation for Oliver Anthony, who literally came out of nowhere. And this guy seems as real as a $5 bill. Okay. I was going to say a $1 bill, but he's got a song called Ain't Got a Dollar. That's another one of his big songs, as well as a tune called I've Gotta Get Sober. This is a guy who is just an example of what society is doing to the working class. And I hate this. I hate the fact that he has a song like this because the truth is hard to hear. And people who are responding to the song and want to play the song are empathizing. He's a character that they can relate to. His manager says, in our opinion, God has chosen to speak through Oliver and to speak to all Americans through his music all around the world. We've gotten comments from Zimbabwe, every country you could think of. The push has been organic for Oliver. This is not some, there are all kinds of theories around now about how this was all planned. I wonder if Donald Trump had something to do with this. Donald Trump? What did Trump have to do with this? Look, I'm no fan of Donald Trump, but he had nothing to do with this. This is all very organic. Now, why do they think Trump and his ilk had something to do with this? Almost immediately, social media jumped on the song, even though Anthony said in a video that he is pretty dead center down the aisle on politics and always has been. Among those amplifying the song were right-wing pundits and politicians. You mean normal people? You mean common sense Americans? Joe Rogan? I didn't know Joe Rogan was a right-winger. Did you? That's kind of new information. So Joe, if you're listening, buddy, you're a right-winger. I didn't know this. Matt Walsh. Yeah, God forbid that Matt Walsh promote anything because he's still trying to figure out what a woman is. And that's a full-time job, man. I don't know. Breitbart, which of course is right-wing media. So if Breitbart says something about the song, does that make the song right-wing, or is it just because they've decided to cover it because there are a lot of people who apparently relate to the song? And of course, they say Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh no, because she posted something on X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay, in case you didn't know that. Anthony's followers have also soared, reaching 743,000 on Instagram and nearly 400,000 on X. Well, that's impossible. So it's got to be right wing if it's organic. High profile artists, including John Rich, who offered to produce his music, and Jamie Johnson, joined him on stage last weekend at a free show in North Carolina, have also provided support. Well, again, you got John Rich, and John Rich doesn't serve Bud Light at his bars. So he's a mean guy. There have been other artists who have reached out just to be a mentor. Name checking Brent Smith of Shinedown, Jelly Roll, Ryan Upchurch, and Randy Travis's team. Johnson, who Riff is his manager, showed up unprompted last weekend, meant a great deal to Anthony. So that's pretty cool, huh? Trying to think who Johnson is here. Did I mention a guy by the name of Johnson? Ryan Upchurch. Jamie Johnson. So Jamie Johnson is the guy who showed up on stage. He said he got to talk to Jamie, which was sentimental to Oliver because he grew up burning the speakers up on his vehicle listening to Jamie. So to get up there on stage your first time, that was special to Oliver. The manager says we're literally open to working with everybody, but no decision has been made as to when and with whom we will enter the studio. Now, my guess here, folks, is this guy might get corrupted. He's already had some issues with alcohol and mental health issues. I'm not saying that to kind of, disparage him. I'm just saying that the world that is currently eating him up and spitting him out, the working class stuff, the people that don't care about him in that area of life, I don't think it's going to change much when he goes up the ladder. It depends who he surrounds himself with, and he's got to find good people that he can trust here. John Rich, he'd be a good guy. Aaron Lewis, to me, seems like a perfect fit for Oliver Anthony. I could see them singing songs together. But the bottom line here is the song is organic. It's hit a nerve. And his manager thinks that God is actually using the song to speak to people who are asleep. Some of the characters in this song, like the lady in the welfare line, look, you don't want to have to disparage anybody because the fact that, they're on welfare or they're dealing with hard times, but there are a lot of people who seem to be abusing the system. That's really the issue. And so I agree with that. I don't agree with disparaging all people that use the system in this way, especially if they've fallen on hard times. But it seems like a way of life for a lot of people. And politicians don't even talk about this anymore. They used to about 15 years ago. They used to say it would be good if we could curtail some of this. But now they're like, full steam ahead. Let's just do it because people have gotten used to it and they won't ever stop. It's kind of like almost like a drug addict, huh? Like somebody who's into substance abuse. It's just, yeah, I could get off of this, but I don't want to. My life is easier and I have no motivation to change. So that's one issue. But the issue that they leave off here in the article is the song does address human trafficking. That whole line about miners, meaning like coal miners, and then he switches it up to miners on an island somewhere. Politicians caring about miners on an island somewhere. That to me is such a home run line. And again, that makes you some kind of a conspiracy theorist. Dude, what did you go watch, like The Sound of Freedom or something, man? You think that's like a good movie? Did you go? I mean, that's just a conspiracy, right? None of that stuff's really happening. Remember when people used to care about other human beings? And if they would hear a story about child trafficking, they'd be horrified. You know what they do now with that? They try to just hide it. It's like if there's a rug somewhere that we can sweep this story under, we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to make you look like the person who's crazy for even bringing it up. So kudos to Oliver Anthony. And I think this song is going to continue to speak to people in a way that Um, I can't think of a song in recent memory that has done this in this big of a way. Um, and this was totally organic, and it continues to be organic. I'm unfortunately thinking this may get corrupted, and then it won't be organic anymore. And you should pray for this guy, because they're gonna try to filter him or censor him or temper him and make him less organic, and he'll probably write, cookie cutter country songs if they have any say. Hey, we'll give you $10 million, but you got to change your approach. That's exactly what's going to happen. So hopefully it won't. And it seems like he's pushing back a little bit against that, but only time will tell, folks. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, people. Please watch the videos. It's just amazing how few people are now watching this channel compared to just like 9 months ago, when a lot of people were watching this channel. And if anything, I've been working a lot harder lately to bring you content. So if you can help out via Patreon, it's the patrons that are keeping this thing going. I mean, if you like the content and you don't mind, $1 a month, $2 a month, I'm not asking you for your tax return or a wealthy donor to step forward, but that would be, yeah, that would be the better option at this point, because then I wouldn't have to worry. The audience wouldn't have to worry. And maybe I could just say whatever I'd like to say on that particular day. And if people watch, great. And if they don't, no big deal. It would be nice to have that kind of freedom. But this is what I do. So the reason I'm doing this is because it became a fairly lucrative enterprise for like a year or two. And now it's kind of going back the other way. When I say fairly lucrative, I mean comfortable. I don't mean like I'm, Mr. Beast. I'm just some guy out here trying to, make a living. And I want to thank the patrons who have stepped up, some who do large single donations. And that has really not only kept me going, but kept my spirits up. So anyway, folks, it's all of those rich men north of Richmond who are carving up the world and controlling everything.